When it comes to crafting a truly memorable creamy potato and hamburger soup, the foundation isn't just in the ingredients, but in the thoughtful process that transforms humble staples into something comforting and spectacular. The best creamy potato and hamburger soup is a hearty blend of flavors, textures, and aromas, delivering warmth and satisfaction in every spoonful. It's the kind of soup that evokes memories of family dinners in the colder months, filling the kitchen with savory scents and bringing everyone together at the table. Let's begin by considering the key components that make this soup shine: the potatoes, the hamburger, and the creaminess. Each plays a vital role, and the best recipes treat them with care, layering flavors and textures for a soup that's both rustic and refined. Start with the potatoes, the backbone of the soup. The variety you choose matters. A starchy potato like russet will break down slightly and help thicken the soup, while a waxy potato like Yukon Gold holds its shape and offers a buttery texture. Many cooks opt for a combination, ensuring the soup is both hearty and luxuriously thick. Dice the potatoes evenly so they cook at the same rate. Sautéing them briefly with aromatics before simmering unlocks a deeper, more complex flavor. Next, there's the hamburger, the ground beef. The best creamy potato and hamburger soup uses beef with a moderate fat content, such as 80-20, for rich flavor without too much grease. The beef should be browned thoroughly, allowing it to develop a caramelized crust. This browning step is crucial, as it builds a foundation of umami and savory depth. As the beef cooks, render out excess fat, but don't remove it all. A little fat is essential for silkiness and taste. A dish is only as good as its seasoning, and the best soups rely on more than salt and pepper. Onions, garlic, and sometimes celery and carrots form a classic aromatic base. Sautéed until translucent and tender, these vegetables infuse the soup with sweetness and a subtle earthiness. For dimension, a pinch of dried thyme, a bay leaf, or even a hint of smoked paprika can elevate the overall profile. The creamy element is where this soup finds its soul. Some recipes rely on heavy cream for richness, while others may use half and half or even milk for a lighter touch. For deeper flavor, adding a spoonful of cream cheese or sour cream at the end creates body and a slight tang that balances the dish. The key is to stir in the dairy off the heat or just before serving to prevent curdling. A truly great soup pays attention to texture. The potatoes should be tender but not mushy. The broth must be smooth and enveloping, not watery. To achieve this, some cooks mash a portion of the potatoes right in the pot, thickening the soup naturally. Others whisk in a slurry of flour or cornstarch, but the best recipes rely on the potatoes themselves to lend substance. Now consider the finishing touches. A scattering of sharp cheddar cheese, stirred in just before serving, melts into the broth and provides a savory depth. Fresh herbs like parsley or chives add a burst of color and freshness. Crumbled bacon, if you're feeling indulgent, introduces a smoky crunch that contrasts beautifully with the creamy base. But beyond the ingredients and steps, the best creamy potato and hamburger soup is about patience and care. Allowing the soup to simmer gently gives the flavors time to meld and deepen. Stirring occasionally ensures nothing sticks or scorches at the bottom. Tasting as you go lets you adjust seasoning, ensuring each bite is perfectly balanced. Let's imagine the process from start to finish. Begin by heating a large, heavy-bottomed pot over medium-high heat. Add the ground beef, breaking it apart with a wooden spoon. As it browns, a savory aroma fills the kitchen. The meat sizzles and pops, releasing its juices, then slowly begins to caramelize. Once it's fully browned, drain off all but a couple of tablespoons of fat. This is liquid gold, carrying the essence of the beef. To the pot, add finely diced onion, a couple of sticks of celery, and perhaps a carrot or two. Stirring them into the beef and fat, you hear the gentle hiss as the vegetables sweat and soften. The onions turn translucent, the carrots brighten, and the celery releases its subtle fragrance. Add a couple of minced garlic cloves, stirring just until their aroma blooms. Don't let them brown, as burnt garlic can introduce bitterness. Now, sprinkle in a pinch of dried thyme, a bay leaf, and a dusting of smoked paprika if you're feeling adventurous. Season with salt and freshly ground black pepper. The spices bloom in the heat, infusing the fat and vegetables with their essence. Pour in the diced potatoes, stirring to coat them in the beef and aromatics. Let them cook for a few minutes, absorbing the flavors and starting to soften at the edges. Then, add your liquid. Either a rich beef broth, chicken broth for a lighter taste, or even a combination. The broth should be just enough to cover the potatoes, as you want a thick, luxurious soup, not a thin stew. Bring the mixture to a gentle boil, then reduce the heat to a simmer. Cover the pot and let the soup bubble softly, the potatoes gradually softening and releasing their starches into the broth. Stir occasionally, scraping the bottom to prevent sticking. After about 20 minutes, test the potatoes. They should be fork tender, but still hold their shape. Now for the creamy finish. Reduce the heat to low to prevent curdling, and gently stir in heavy cream, half and half, or a blend of cream and milk. For extra richness, add a couple of ounces of cream cheese, whisking until it melts into the soup. Taste and adjust the seasoning, adding more salt, pepper, or a dash of hot sauce for a gentle kick. If you want it a thicker soup, use a potato masher or the back of a spoon to mash some of the potatoes right in the pot. This creates a naturally thick, creamy texture without the need for flour or cornstarch. Alternatively, if you prefer a chunkier soup, leave the potatoes intact for a rustic feel. Finally, remove the pot from the heat and sprinkle in a generous handful of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Stir until the cheese melts, transforming the broth into a velvety, rich base. Scatter chopped fresh parsley or chives over the top for a burst of color and freshness. Ladle the soup into bowls, perhaps topping each with a sprinkle of extra cheese, a spoonful of sour cream, or crispy crumbled bacon. Serve with warm, crusty bread or a simple green salad for contrast. What truly sets the best creamy potato and hamburger soup apart, though, is the way it brings people together. It's a dish that invites second helpings and lingers in memory long after the bowls are empty. It's flexible enough to accommodate what you have on hand. Swap out ground beef for turkey or pork, add corn, peas, or bell peppers for extra flavor and color, or adjust the dairy to suit your preference. At its core, the best creamy potato and hamburger soup is more than a recipe. It's a template for comfort, a way to showcase simple ingredients at their best, and a reminder that great food doesn't have to be complicated. It's about building layers of flavor, paying attention to texture, and finishing with a flourish that makes each bowl uniquely yours. So the next time you set out to make creamy potato and hamburger soup, remember, start with good ingredients, take your time with each step, and taste as you go. Let the aroma fill your home, and serve it with the confidence that you're offering not just a meal, but a bowl full of warmth, comfort, and care. That's what makes the best creamy potato and hamburger soup recipe, one that nourishes both body and soul, bite after creamy, satisfying bite.